natural feel to it.
Okay.
You know what I mean? And observing where the surroundings and the way I'm going to interact with him.
Okay. Chris?
Oh.
Mike?
That.
What have you guys done in rehearsal? What have you brought from the first showing into rehearsal?
We tried, I think we were pretty aware of the beats.
Okay.
So we kind of worked on the beats. I know that area where I'm supposed to just bring all 3 or 4 lines together and let him interject in there. And then trying and hoping that I get through those chunks, and especially at the end to kind of hit that where it will work for the timing part at the end. Because it's just, in order for the scene to work at the end with those last particular lines.
Okay.
Okay?
Okay.
And I know what you said, to bring in more of the attraction and the intimate area of it.
Good.
Right?
Good. Sure. Let's do it. Everybody settled in?
Yes.
Where they're going to stay at least for the run?
Yes.
Okay, good. Stand by. Action.
I like you so much better now that I know you're a millionaire.
A lot of people do.
Is your apartment really nice?
What?
I have a bunch of questions that I always want to ask rich people, but I never do because it's rude, of course.
Okay.
Where do you live?
Central Park West.
In like one of those huge dormant buildings?
Yeah.
How many bedrooms?
Why do you care? 5.
5?
Yeah, one of them we use as an office.
For what? You don't even work.
You know,
Did
I
you
still
have an
need
interior
to-
decorator design it?
You have a lot of issues around money.
No, I don't. Shut up. What's the color palette?
What? I don't know. Seafoam green.
Seafoam green?
Yeah.
I don't understand.
What do you mean you don't?
You mean the accents are seafoam green?
No,
The entire apartment seafoam green?
the
Wait. You mean you have like a seafoam green couch and a seafoam green rug? The walls are seafoam green? And the lighting fixtures?
I don't know, okay? I don't remember.
I'm sorry.
I'm sorry. I haven't been there in a couple of months. I'm subletting a place, a few blocks from my old... I don't know why I decided to stay in the same neighborhood. Stupid. I guess I thought it would be easier for... Anyway, it's not. And I hate my new place. Nothing in it's mine. And I don't know. Maybe it's not so bad.
Well, I bet your new place that you hate is like 10,000 times nicer than my apartment.
Money doesn't change your life as much as you think it will.
That's just something rich people say to make poor people feel better.
It doesn't. So you can what? Buy a nice car, get a flat screen TV, take a cool vacation? Those things don't fix, you know, what's in here.
What's in there?
Never mind. Never mind.
Yeah, and I bet you don't even buy yourself new TVs or vacations or cars or anything like that.
What do you want from me?
You won't even buy me a cup of coffee.
I get you
And
coffee
you
all the
always make me
time.
pay you back, and
Well,
you're like, text me the exact amount of money that I owe you,
Well,
like, while
it's-
you're buying it. And you're like, hi, Carla, your almond milk latte was $5.23. Exact change would be preferable, please.
Well, it is very overpriced here.
But the money does help with all of this. But you don't have to worry about all of this shit, right? Like you probably don't even need insurance. Wow. Wow.
Does your mother have insurance?
Her insurance is terrible, which is hilarious, of course. She's a social worker. It's like, thanks for the help, U.S. government. We're totally fucked. I should probably just kill myself. That was a joke. I'm not gonna kill myself. Today. That was a joke. God, you do not understand my charming and irreverent dark sense of humor at all.
What do you mean you're fucked?
Just that, I mean, we're not fucked. It's being dramatic. It's just, I mean, her insurance is great in a lot of ways. They pay for her surgery and her week recovery here. But then when it comes to like the chemo and the radiation and all the medications, it's just gonna be tougher. But don't worry, Don. You look so worried. It's fine. This is how the world works. Shit happens. And you just figure it out or you don't. Just accept that life is kind of shitty. And lime.
Ah. And did you get that one yet?
Yep, and you accept that life is kind of shitty.
I'm sorry, you got me when I was writing something. I'm sorry, say the line right before that, Carla.
I'm gonna take that from the top. You look so worried. Give me that first line, please, with that whole chunk right there at the beginning.
At the,
Yep, done. That's where we're at right there.
I'm scared. Up here.
But don't worry, Don. You look so worried. It's fine. This is how the world works. What's after that line? This is how the world works.
But don't worry, you look so worried right now.
Yeah.
It's
This
fine.
is how the world works.
This is how the world works. Shit happens. And
Shit
you
happens.
just...
Shit happens and you just figure it out or you don't. You just accept that life, is that right?
Or you don't.
Or you don't, what's after the or
You
don't?
just accept that life.
You just accept that life is kind of shitty. And it may change or it may not. Lime,
That's okay too.
and that's okay too. Give me the other
Or
one.
maybe it's not.
And maybe it's not, and maybe it is. And maybe it's okay that it's not okay, you know? No, of course you don't. You have like $7 kajillion. If your mom dies, you can just like buy a new one. Sorry. That was another attempt at a dark joke. It wasn't the time. I acknowledge that. Sorry. Yeah. Timing is everything.
Okay.
Well, what's the secret to great comedy?
I don't know.
Timing.
Cut? Cut?
Yep.
Okay, cut. These are different people than last week. Ah, please do. So, what did y'all think?
Give me that script.
To be honest,
Carl, I got a question for
I
you.
think for like the first time, I do agree with Keith. This felt like different people because I didn't really understand why this was happening. I guess kind of throughout the majority. Then we had like a moment with the back and forth that's kind of there, and then it kind of just felt like we were just talking.
The
and it didn't
energy
really make
throughout the
sense.
whole
Yeah.
thing was kind of down.
It was inconsistent.
Yeah,
It was what?
it was inconsistent. It was pretty flat. It was throughout the whole time, and it just. I know that you guys have more
What I know,
in that time.
what I felt like was happening was, it seemed like you were trying to be flirty from the top, and then, but he was not reading that flirting.
Yeah.
He wasn't flirting back, so it was, I don't know why you really engaged in the talk with her. Like, what was your reasoning for answering her questions about money? So I just think you guys were on different pages and weren't like reading each other throughout that.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Chris, why did you turn around initially? I didn't really see the impulse to do that.
So it was something we worked last time to move that forward. So last time we did it, I didn't turn around until this. Really wasn't really going to turn around until it turned into like, does your mother have insurance? And so when I first turned around last time, it was much later on, and there was a desire to bring that back and forth more directly sooner, because it was just physically it wasn't going anywhere. So that looked like a spot where, and some of the stuff we talked about was, her questions in relation to my money were different than everybody else that initially is so disappointing. in
Why?
People.
Why is she different?
Because it's the where do you live, it's the how many bedrooms you have, it's the what's your...
Is it the nature of the question themselves?
It's a little bit of the nature of the questions, and it's the way that she's asking it.
And how is
different
she
than,
asking?
She's poking, she's playful, it's not, it doesn't seem like directly almost competitive. It doesn't seem competitive, or where some people would be looking at it from that angle, or others trying to get whatever out of me that it is.
That they didn't want something out of it.
Right.
Is that what you got tonight?
A little bit. I mean, I know it's what we had been working on and changing some of the tones and how we were doing that, and then trying to get a little bit of the development to what happens after this. Otherwise, as noted last time, we weren't anywhere near there.
Well, I mean, I think the thing is you were playing the attraction rather than letting it happen at moments.
I feel
rather
like
than
you guys made
discovering.
a lot of technical changes, but not
I-
mostly backed ones. Is what I was kind of wondering. So I guess I see a lot of like actual like timing differences and everything you guys would decide to what you decided to do as a difference from last time. I didn't see the why in a lot of actions.
You weren't communicating, I felt like over the dive. It was like you had a set agenda that you were gonna do, things that you said, oh, I'm gonna do this here, here, here. Chris had his, but it wasn't allowing the natural scene to like, hey, she just did something different. Let me just go with it. In those times, I was okay.
I just feel like, for instance, you're kind of selling yourself short. I think you can be flirty without trying. And I don't think you realize that about yourself, because, like, in your first showing, the energy that you brought with the, like, the
Definitely.
seafoam
Yep.
green, like,
Definitely.
I loved that. It was so you. And, like, I think that brought so much life to that. And that is flirting. You're playing with him. It's like this buddy you can joke around with. And this pass, it felt that was just kind of gone.
Yeah.
Okay,
And that's what it was. You went soft.
okay.
You went to the playing the attraction, which
Okay.
is the way I interpret this.
Or, like,
So-
sultry, like it was whispery.
Exactly. Yeah.
Which isn't really
And
flirting.
it's not. It's like
Didn't you say do more of an intimate last time?
I think you can build the intimacy. It's about getting closer to him.
yeah. It's not about soft and it's not about sultry. It's
Okay.
about vulnerability. That's
Okay.
intimacy.
Okay,
And I think there are moments when he displays that, and I think it's important that you pick up on that
okay,
because that is the thing that you use humor to hide from.
okay. And you know, the last time we did the scene, none of that, we didn't do the other part of it.
But I think that's where you're building up to that intimacy. I think that part of adding that to the scene,
Mhm.
that serves as your intimacy. When you make a joke about you could just buy another mom,
Mm-hmm.
that's deep. Like
Right.
his mom is literally dying in this bed,
Right.
and you're still reverting to humor.
Mm-hmm.
I think the intimacy can be organic without trying to force it by you guys incorporating that part of the scene.
There is something incredibly something that disrupts what you expect when people decide they're not going to follow a social script and instead take you in a direction that is sincere and authentic. If I said, yeah, I got a Speedo coming in the mail, I figured I'm going to take it down to the pool tomorrow and try it out. That's absurd on so many levels. And if somebody's going to say, the last thing you need to be doing is wearing a Speedo, and perhaps the last thing after that is going out in public in that Speedo, you know what I mean? And having somebody say that, there's something about that that is refreshing, and I think that's what he sees in you.
Okay.
This humor, at the same time that it's humor, it's a direct confrontation of the tower of denial and the tower of protection that he's built around himself. And you just keep chipping away at it, and it's...
Like the part about the coffee, I think I love that bit when
Yes.
you're like, yeah, you always make me pay you back. Like
Yeah.
I love the way that plays between you guys every time.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's my favorite.
It's a good one. It's a good one, and I think that's indicative of the nature of your relationship.
Okay.
You know, I had a great aunt and great uncle that were not related to me, so don't give me any shit. But they were Aunt Helen and Uncle John, and we were 5 years old, and we'd go over and sit at their house, and the whole time they'd be going, "You don't know what the hell you're talking about. Go kiss my ass. Go make me a cup of coffee." And that was the nature of their relationship, and something about that was incredibly, apparently, attractive to them. Because they were together for decades. And when she died, he was absolutely heartbroken. And there was something about that sort of bluntness, and I'm not going to put up with your shit, and here it is. And without that, the scene doesn't happen. Without that, the scene's not funny. Without that, the charm and intimacy that is unique to this script can't be revealed. I think, is what it is. So I think this was a fantastic. You didn't do anything wrong. What you did was you experimented with this, which is exactly what you were all supposed to do. So you have absolutely no reason to look at this showing and go, well, fuck. No, not at all. What we've learned is that it can't be done without keeping that brash, irreverent, shouting, profanities, and not being ashamed of it, and no softness quality to her. Because without that, you flail as a character. It just doesn't work. There is no pushback. And without pushback, you take up the space that you would always take up if this were anybody else's room but one with her in it. This dynamic, it's a revelation about this dynamic. I think it's fantastic to realize that. So we got to bring that back. That's that's the only note I have for the whole thing. You want to try it again?
Yep. You want to try it again?
Yeah, why not? I'm here.
Okay.
I'll be on this time.
Yeah.
I want Francis to like stand up and say 20 swear words.
Yeah, that's great. You don't have to stand and do it, but right now just shout 20 swear words.
Just like sassy.
20 Sarah.
Swear words, yeah. Yeah.
Oh.
Like road rage, like somebody
Fuck.
just cut you off.
Bitch. Damn it.
I'll say be
God.
ruthless.
Motherfucker.
Yeah.
4. That's 4.
What else you want me to say? Damn
Well,
it.
the 16
Cocksucker
16
is
others.
a personal favorite of mine.
The 16 others.
Here we go. Here's my favorite. Okay. Fuck. Damn it. Bitch. Bastard. I want to say the N word, but I'm not.
Why not?
That's what I want to say. I don't know. I think that's about it.
No, there's 15 more you need to come up with.
Go old school, Shakespeare, Claude Poll.
Oh
Yeah, learn that one in 7th
There you go.
Call someone a
Damn,
call.
bitch,
Is that a curse?
fucker, bastard,
That's a curse word? I never knew that. I knew it was something
cocksucker,
not good, but I didn't know it was a curse word.
black ass, fucker,
Nice construct.
yeah.
We're freestyling.
So, that's it.
All right. We'll take the 9 that we got. All right, here we go. Stand by. Whenever you're ready.
I like you so much better now that I know you're a millionaire.
A lot of people do.
Is your apartment really nice?
What?
I have a bunch of questions that I always want to ask rich people, but I never do because it's rude, of course.
Okay.
Where do you live?
Central Park West.
In like one of those huge dormant buildings?
Yeah.
How many bedrooms?
Why do you care? 5.
5?
One of them we use as an office.
For what? You don't even work.
You know, I
Did you
still
have an
need
interior
to...
decorator design it?
You have a lot of issues around money.
No, I don't. Shut up. What's the color palette?
What? I don't know. Seafoam green.
Seafoam green?
Yeah.
I don't understand.
What do you mean you don't understand?
You mean the accents are seafoam green?
No,
The entire apartment seafoam green?
yeah, the...
Wait, you mean you have like a seafoam green couch and a seafoam green rug? And the walls are seafoam green? And the lighting fixtures?
I don't know, okay? I don't remember.
I'm sorry.
I'm sorry. It's just... I haven't been there in a couple of months. Subletting a place a few blocks from my old... I don't know why I decided to stay in the same neighborhood. Stupid. I guess I thought it'd be easier for... Anyway, it's not. So... And I hate my new place. Nothing in it's mine. And... I don't know. Maybe it's not so bad.
Well, I bet your new place that you hate is like 10,000 times nicer than my apartment.
Money doesn't change your life as much as you think it will.
Oh, that's just something that rich people say to make poor people feel better.
It doesn't. So you can what? Buy a nice car, get a flat screen TV, take a cool vacation? those things don't fix, you know, what's in here.
What's in there?
Never mind.
Okay.
Never mind.
Yeah. You probably don't even buy yourself new TVs or vacations or cars or anything like that.
What do you want from me?
You won't even buy me a cup of coffee.
I get you
And
coffee
you
all the
always
time.
make me pay you back, and you like
Well,
text me
it's-
the exact amount of money that I owe you,
Well,
like why
it's-
you're buying it, and you're like, "Hi, Carla, your almond milk latte was $5.23. Exact change would be preferable, please."
Well, it is very overpriced. Here.
But the money does help with this. And you probably don't have to worry about any of this shit, right? Like you probably don't even need insurance.
I don't know.
Wow. Wow.
Does your mother have...
Her insurance is terrible because which is
Which is hilarious.
her insurance is terrible, which is hilarious because she's a social worker. It's like, thanks for the help, U.S. government. We're totally fucked. I should probably just kill myself. That's a joke. I'm not gonna kill myself. Today. That's a joke. God, you do not get my charming, irreverent, dark sense of humor at all.
What do you mean you're fucked?
Just that. We're not fucked. I was just being dramatic. It's just. I mean, her insurance is great in a lot of ways. They pay for her surgery and her week recovery here, which is awesome. But then when it comes to like the chemo and the radiation and the medications, it's just gonna be tougher. But don't worry, Don. You look so worried right now. It's fine. This is how the world works. Shit happens and you just... Shit happens and you just line.
You figure.
Shit happens and you just figure it out. Or you don't. You just accept that life is kind of shitty. And that's okay. Or maybe it'll change. Or maybe it won't. And that's okay too. And maybe it's not. Maybe it's not okay that it's not okay. You know? No, of course you don't. You have like $7 kajillion. If your mom dies, you can like buy a new one. Sorry. That was my attempt at another dark joke. Yeah. Wasn't the right time. I acknowledge that. Sorry. Timing is everything.
Okay.
What's the great secret to great comedy?
I don't know. What is the...
Timing.
Cut. Good. Good. You felt it. You felt it. That dynamic works.
Yeah.
That's a real solid dynamic right there.
That was great.
So, notes.
Don, I have a question for you. At the very end there, you say I twice and you're getting ready to say something. What were you getting ready to say?
I still hadn't even quite figured that out. I think I've been stumbling over the words, but in relation to the condition that her mother's in and the position that I'm in, and if there's ways that me with all this fucking money could do something about it or help Carla about any of this.
Are you prepared to do that at this point?
I'm not necessarily saying it's happening, but the thoughts are running through my head. I know where I'm at. I know I have an idea where this is going, and the insurance and the communication about the future of the treatment that she's going to potentially have and how difficult that's going to be. And it's not necessarily a difficulty for me.
Okay.
I felt like you had already decided that you were going to help her pay for stuff. You said like the insurance question and stuff was with such conviction that it was sort of like you're gonna help solve her problems. To me, is how it played.
And the question stands. Are you prepared to do that at this point in the script? Don't have to answer that right now, but think about that. Because if that's the way that's playing, then the answer implicitly is yes. If it is not, then it's worth rethinking the delivery of that to make sure you're sending the signal you mean. You can buy yourself another mother. Is it a joke? The impulse to say it?
The impulse to say it, but then I'm thinking,
You see the offense very, very quickly. So quickly, in fact, that it is impeding
Yeah.
upon the impulse to tell the joke.
yeah, I got
Can I
that.
ask a question?
I know what.
Can you sit a little closer to him for a second?
Hmm?
Can you scoot your chair toward him a little bit?
What came
Cris,
up before that?
sit a little closer.
What was before the mom thing?
Of course you don't.
That was the
She was in her
life
monologue.
sucks, and
Yeah.
you get through it, you don't, you whatever. You know, that's
And
just how
maybe
it
it's
is.
not,
You get
maybe
it.
But you don't have to
Of
worry
course
about
you
these
don't,
things
because
with
you
all
have
your
70
gajillion
gajillion
dollars.
If your mom dies, you could just buy a new one.
How do you tell him you're joking? Get over it. Tell him I'm joking. Get over it.
What do you mean?
Tell him. Like if you offended, like you've just said a joke.
Sorry. It was my attempt at a dark joke again.
Right. Go back to one of the earlier ones. The I might kill myself. I should just kill
Okay.
myself. Take it from there.
We're fucked. I should probably just kill myself. That's a joke.
Good. Hit him with your book.
That's a joke.
Harder.
That's a joke. I'm not gonna kill myself. Today. That's a joke.
Hit him again.
That's a joke.
So I mean I think there's room here. So what's missing somehow is the touch
Okay.
in this. If we want to start working toward intimacy, physical contact is important, and flirtation takes on a number of forms. That is flirtation.
My touching him didn't feel right when I got up to do that.
Well, because you had to get up and cross the fucking room.
Right, that didn't feel right. So
Yes,
we-
but what's here? This was essentially what it was.
Yeah, I didn't like that.
So I think if you guys sit a little closer, it enables you to do that, and it makes the reaching out and touching it easier.
Okay. The last part of that, it's the
Just work it.
line.
Just work it.
Okay.
Not only because of the lines, but because you're missing what you're saying.
Yeah.
You haven't had a chance to work it.
Yes.
And so I don't even think it's worth critiquing that last bit. I think until you have a chance to really kind of work that monologue, because it's funny.
Okay. Yeah, I gotta get that.
And it's complex. It's you either do or you don't, and if you don't, maybe it is or it isn't.
Yes.
And it's just sort
I
of.
liked your eyeline volley though, like between your mom and him, and like whether it's okay or not. Like
Yeah.
that was very decisive,
Yeah.
and I liked it.
Okay, so this one
Great observation.
was totally different than the first one, right? That we just did tonight.
Uh huh.
Okay, and some of those things were?
From the second one?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, fuck yes.
Okay, okay.
I mean, I think the second one was inside. It's on the bullseye somewhere,
Okay.
or so in the I don't know. I'm
Yeah,
using
no,
archery
okay.
metaphor, but
Okay. I'm with you.
keep your arrows high and your quiver full.
Peacock.
Peacocks have, all peacocks have tails.
All peacocks have tails. I forgot about that.
Okay.
Never forget. Can't
Okay.
forget.
So
The very end of our clip from last time.
So I think this scene with this dynamic, but now it's about working the details, going back and figuring out the physical turns.
Okay.
And cleaning those up. They were not as clean as we played with at the end of the last week's or 2 weeks ago showing or 3 weeks
Yeah.
ago showing. So making sure that the physical moves are specific. The first ones were, what do you mean by that? When you turned around there, but then we kind of started to get a little bit muddy. But I do like the attention you're putting. I agree, into the eye lines and stuff.
I have a question for Chris.
Okay.
What is your impulse to like throw the cup?
That
Where
just
is that
happened.
coming from? Okay.
It just literally happened. I had not thrown the cup previously.
Okay.
I had never picked up the cup previously. I just picked up the cup. And it was empty. So.
Well,
Okay.
I had a question for Chris as well.
Yeah, of course.
At the top of the scene, do you already find her attractive?
Because I don't like coffee.
No, I meant at the
Right.
at the top of the scene, like when you guys start, when she's asking you about the money. At that point, do you already
Yes.
find her attractive? So if an attractive woman asked you about your apartment, how would you feel about that? What would be your thoughts of why she's asking about that?
To be perfectly honest with you, I think I need to look more into that one. No, I like the question. It's because some of the stuff I've gone through with this and looking at the first round and previously going through having the issues with the mother and the wife and the children and the whatever, and a completely different person, which sparks the interest, and it's a different sense of, but still the money is this thing, but it's being presented differently, so there's, but I haven't figured out if he's necessarily in a spot where he's like looking for somebody else or available to that, where that line of probable thought where you might have been getting at is, it's not in here.
I think proceed with caution, because it suggests then that there's an exchange, in a way, and the thing that makes this work is that there's no exchange. She's completely. It's like answering questions because what harm can it do?
Right.
And then suddenly there is harm, which is kind of what makes the whole.
Looking at it like as a correlation for me, I haven't eaten today, and I'm not trying to say that as a thing, but I haven't eaten today, and my wife has to try and tell me to eat because I don't think about eating during the day. Like the process of you should eat something, it's like lunchtime, everybody else has done that, I just go through what I'm doing, and it doesn't realize it to me, so probably not even processing that at that point with her and other things.
This is how far into the script?
This is
About halfway.
about halfway,
Okay.
and.
So yeah, there is time for that.
Yeah,
I mean, I think it's a legitimate question.
right.
But how much? I don't know. Play with it. I can only say that.
I don't think he takes that, and I don't think he intakes that way at all. I think he just skips right over his mind and the way he's thinking. He's only just changed clothes now with the jacket. Other times he just come in, holy pants, whatever. He doesn't have that process. He's just kind of in.
Why isn't he still wearing the holy pants?
Because I talked to him about it. I asked him about it. I said something to him about it, and so he decided to come in with a new look.
Why?
After I said something.
Just because you said something? Probably other people have told him,
Yeah.
dude, you're really looking ratty. Why would he change?
Because he wanted to look good for me.
And therefore,
Yeah.
it makes us wonder where there's room for this. I don't know. Play with it.
Okay.
Try it out in the rehearsal and see what it does to the scene. If it hijacks the scene, then yeah, no. But if it doesn't, if it adds an interesting dimension for even a moment and then it moves past, then maybe it's worth keeping. Play with it. That's all we can do. It's a sandbox. It's a sandbox, and it's a completely legitimate question to play within the sandbox. Good. Thanks,
Okay.
guys. Give me a hand. Thank you, Rashawn.
You're so good at being dead.
I know, I was like, every time, girl, you play that dumb officer.
Wow.
From over there. Whenever I see a cast
She was
full of
blinking
corpse.
and her eyes closed.
I couldn't see Keith was in the way. Oh,
Yeah,
gosh,
she's
man.
not quite as
Never
dead
mind.
as.
Never mind, Rashawn.
All right.
You were blinking.
You guys.
Oh. She was
Let's
blinking
take-
with
I'm
her eyes
gonna go pee.
closed. It was It's like you're trying to sell it, but you're still twitching.
Yeah, well, I didn't.
Anyway, no.
Why?
I'm just okay. I just
Why
got
do you
out
think
of
that
a
face?
really bad
The
situation.
last part of that.
You definitely sold it.
So,
Oh, the fuck?
I thought you guys had a bug. Excuse me.
It's not like you have nothing else on your mind.
No. It was assault.
Like, I just got to all day.
Yeah.
It wasn't assault. I thought it was so
You ain't missing much. Is that
when you're in the military, right? Like you're a higher pay grade. Somebody's a higher pay grade. Then pretty much it's kind of a one-way discussion, right?
Had to put them on the.
That's great.
Yeah, so,
Yeah.
yeah.
My first class.
Nice.
CSSA, a second class.
I'll fix my total column
Yeah.
comment.
Right, so
You gotta trust yourself more though, like for real,
Telling
your
everybody
energy and stuff, like,
Oh, I know.
yeah.
Myself, since 2000 tells anybody you do something, you do it.
Yeah.
It's not
Yeah.
my
Just
job.
nice, man.
My mind.
So
I like the fact that
every
you're
rebuttal.
so because I think that's the purpose. Because it's like you brought
My family for Christmas, so I'm definitely gonna need something like that.
I think
These exact songs, because you're gonna be in Colorado.
You've been there
Yep.
several places. What do you mean?
This is my first time going, so I'm excited.
It's gonna be amazing. It's gonna be
She
so
kept
cool.
perfect. She kept going like this for them.
I don't know, I'll be doing
Yeah, I
it
think
out
you
there.
have a versatility that you don't give yourself credit for.
You know I'm wrong.
Yeah.
So the first time I'm talking your ass up anyway.
this is my favorite.
okay.
And I say a lot because you know I love
I we
to
talked about house.
Like went over the point of disrespect.
But I actually-
Yeah, they actually are. They're actually like cute shit like those, but those are the only ones I have, so I can't wear those
Yes.
for a week.
Like everything about that
Yes.
is fun.
And then I'm, and
Glow in the dark.
You like a diva hype up before
But
you
it's
do it. Like,
the
Look,
flower.
Yeah.
I'm the king of the
Yeah.
hype. So yeah,
What's the flower?
I'll take a little sip on you. Whoever showed
They're huff socks. They're these, and I got them from.
That was really classy. So I just
Of
got
course.
really past that situation. How are you doing?
Literally,
It was some good shit.
I was tripping off the
I can't take
ass,
But no, I
and I went to bed, and it was like so cozy. warm.
Did y'all need the chair? Hey, mom, did you? Cause y'all were y'all using the chair like as a back?
It's the slap on the wrist, really.
Are you still recording? Yeah, we're so recording.
Need help, Darius?
Y'all don't be looking at me.
It's too late.